Marvel's first show, created for Disney Plus, released its final episode last week, and it's already set the bar incredibly high for their future series. I immediately started looking forward to WandaVision when it was revealed the show would go through the history of the television sitcom, as I have an immense affection for them. However, where the creative team took it went far beyond a mere homage, and WandaVision succeeded in fleshing out Wanda Maximoff, and it was wonderful to see her get the spotlight. In the movie, she mostly played a supporting role to the more established Avengers, so it was nice to see her in a lead role for once. I loved so much about WandaVision, and I'm excited to talk about it, and that does mean I will be going into spoilers. Starting with these sitcom homages, the makers of WandaVision did an excellent job of recreating each era. The attention to detail in the way the scenes were filmed, and the production and costume design is outstanding. The theme songs by Kristen and Robert Lopez were also amazing, and felt like they could have opened series like The Dick Van Dyke Show or Bewitched or Full House. Really catchy tunes too, with my favorite being their take on the Munsters theme song, which has not left my head since hearing it in the 7th episode. However, what I appreciated the most is that WandaVision did not fall into the trap of making fun of classic sitcoms. The episodes felt like genuine and loving tributes, which makes sense considering what we learned about Wanda in the penultimate episode. And the jokes are genuinely funny and witty, without winking at the audience, so kudos to the writers there. A lot of credit for the authenticity goes to Matt Shakman, who directed all the episodes and actually got his start acting on sitcoms like The Facts of Life, Webster, and Just the 10 of Us, so he's very much familiar with that world. The performances are also fantastic. Elizabeth Olsen did so well in emulating the acting styles of the various sitcom formats and having Wanda act appropriately depending on the era. There's a part in the 80s episode where she gives a sentimental message to her sons, and it's hard not to think she picked up how to perform that scene from watching Bob Saget on the set of Full House. And when Wanda essentially breaks character, Olsen nails those parts too. Paul Bettany also gives us another side of Vision. Bettany is mostly cast in dramatic roles, so it's great that WandaVision allowed him the chance to loosen up. And then there's Kathryn Hahn. She is perfectly cast as the wacky neighbor, and when her real identity is revealed, she clearly relishes the opportunity to play this evil witch. Throughout it all, we see Wanda go through an arc, and the show succeeds at touching on grief. For something as shocking to Wanda as losing her brother, her appearances after Age of Ultron did not really touch on it that much, probably due to the gazillion other subplots going on. So it was good that WandaVision allowed for the opportunity to explore the lingering effects of that event. Now, when I started WandaVision, I was mostly content with watching the sitcom recreations, with the additional Marvel elements being a nice bonus. I did not participate in the theorizing others were doing, mostly because I predicted most of what was eventually revealed. However, it's important to remember that being predictable does not mean something is bad. I was still engaged and enthralled and excited for what the next week's episode would bring. And yes, I do love the weekly format Disney Plus has been using for its original series. And yet, I really liked how they incorporated the rest of the MCU into the show. One of the best decisions was bringing in other supporting players from the movies. The utilization of Darcy from Thor, Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and a grown-up Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel was excellent. Those characters became nicely fleshed out, and I loved watching them figure things out. The casting of Teyonah Parris as Monica was a stroke of genius, and she really felt like the older version of that young girl we saw interacting with Carol Danvers in the 90s. I also have to commend the production value, as the show felt cinematic whenever we ventured outside of the Hex. A standout sequence for me was a scene where we see exactly what it was like for people returning from the snap after 5 years gone, and I wonder if future entries of the MCU will continue to explore the long-term ramifications of Thanos' actions. In the end, I have to say WandaVision is my favorite thing the MCU has ever done, as it ticked all the boxes for me. Give the series a watch on Disney Plus, although I'm sure some of you already have, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.